Hello, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com. I'm joined today by Ryan. Hello.
Hello there, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you doing?
Very good, thanks.
Good. We'll see how you feel after we've done a bit of this, yeah?
No, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be great. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a little bit of Evil Genius. There is a sequel coming out soon. You've not seen this before, have you?
No, not at all.
Fantastic, that's always a good sign. And Evil Genius is basically, think Theme Hospital, but with an evil mastermind.
I'm into it already.
It does like all the tropes. I love it so much. It's got this sort of 80s vibe to it. You can tell from the music as well.
Is there a fluffy white cat somewhere in the game?
You can get a massive mastermind chair, if that's as good.
That's the next step.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So what we'll do is we'll start a new game. I'm going to let you pick as well. We are going to cheat because it's a bit like when you play The Sims. I've never been one of those people. Like, I've played it briefly, don't get me wrong. It's like one of those games that I go to now and then for like relax. I cannot play that without the cheats.
Yeah, I was never into The Sims when I was younger. I don't like it.
Put on the cheats. That'll be fine. You'll be great.
I've never really, and this is why I think I get that this game is like that because of what you told me it's about. I'm not so much into it, nor have I always been into games that are like top down, click and drag, build, that sort of stuff. I like being in that moment, sometimes first person, running around, seeing it myself kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's always been the kind of game I've into. So this is very different to what I'm used to.
See, I think what's helped me with this is I've got a massive superiority complex. So if I'm in a position of being basically a god, I'm okay with it. I think The Sims is the ultimate indulgence in regard to like, I am in charge.
That's what it is. People that seem to really enjoy The Sims are like these people that want to be godlike for a time being. Whatever.
What? Sorry? People that want to be what?
Want to control this world and be its overlord, where I don't seem to have that interest.
So you're saying like, narcissistic, self. This all fits quite well, and I'm a bit upset. We've already got into like the deep dive counselling. We haven't even started yet.
We've already got into some real.
I don't want to play anymore. Forget it. But we're going to go forwards.
No, you indulge your narcissism.
That's fine. Well, I like to. That's like a daily thing for me, to be honest. If we weren't recording this at the moment, I'd just be looking into a mirror. So it'd be okay, And if anything, I kind of am. So I'm going to let you pick who our genius is. We've got Maximilian, who's your stereotypical tiny German man.
Short, bad-tempered, utterly insane, fabulously wealthy, industrialist. The ambitions is to conquer the world through advanced research and technological supremacy. Let's have a look at Alexis.
Alexis.
Take control as Alexis. Elegant and beautiful, you are the adorable multi-millionaire heiress. Your beautiful countenance commands the utmost respect and loyalty from those who are fortunate enough to be chosen to be your minions, I should say.
Exactly. See, this kind of superiority complex, I got a bit of a buzz off of that. I was like, that's
Shen Yu. Let's have a look at Shen Yu. Oh, he looks a bit silent. Take control as Shen Yu, mystical and inscrutable. You're the
you picked the short straw. Happen to read these.
You are the Quixotic super criminal turned special agent turned evil genius. Your powerful global network of conspirators ensures you have hidden influence over. I think we're going to go with Maximilian.
Yep, he's the most straightforward.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And he's German, which means we can do, silly little accent.
He's great. He has got an accent.
Excellent.
He's great.
Do you know, he looks a bit like now Boss Baby.
Yeah. A little bit. I like the fact that with this as well is that it kind of indulges itself in the 80s tropes. So you will see the minions in a minute.
Right.
But they are all like banana suited.
And they're all wearing the same outfits?
Yep.
Excellent.
They have different colour coordinated outfits based on their gear.
Do they run around with like what would look like an MP40 from World War II?
Yep, and we are going to cheat. Because it's not as much fun without the cheats.
So what... talk me through the cheats because task.
That's my cheat. That's my cheat.
I miss cheats from games. Used to be you'd pick up like PlayStation magazine or any kind of magazine, and at the back of it there are the cheats, or you could buy a big book of cheats, and it had like 100 games which all had cheat codes in them. And you'd go through it and you'd be like, right, GTA or I don't know, Sonic Heroes or something, I don't know. And you just like pop in like the right combination. It was almost like playing Parappa the Rapper to get your cheat code in. You had to get the right button mash and you got your cheat, and it was so good, man.
I used to like, the thing I like about cheats is that they give you the kind of freedom to have that complex. I mean, like with me, this game for me is just really fun in general for what it does. So I'm building my base here into this is like a big mountain.
Right.
So I'm doing the stereotypical evil genius mountain base. There we go. But what we're basically doing is we have like objectives and stuff where people will come to our island. Like we'll have different people coming into our island, like spies and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely, because safety is important.
Safety is important.
Yeah, these are all actually unlocked now because of the fact that I've used the cheats.
I was going to ask what cheat have we put in?
We've put in all buildings, and we've also put in all traps, because you can make traps in this, and they are great.
Can I have a shark in a pond?
You can have so many things. It will blow your mind how wonderful the things you can have is in this. But the sequel is coming out soon, and a lot of people never actually played it, and it's a bit of a niche title that I really enjoyed. But I'm one of these people where I do enjoy playing it legitimately as well, don't get me wrong, but I get a lot out of these kind of games when I play them just, with a few cheats on. They're quite easy to talk over, and we were chatting before about we've got quite a lot to talk about just in general, actually, from the sounds of things.
Yeah.
So it'd be quite interesting. We're going to talk about a few different bits and pieces in regard to like news. We're going to talk about a bit of mental health stuff as well, so that's going to get heavy fast.
Mental Health Day today, World Mental Health Day.
It is World Mental Health Day today, and so we're going to talk about a few things that have affected us, just a few general bits and pieces, like stuff that we think about, stuff that's crossed our minds. And also I'm going to, like I say, indulge my narcissism and just continue to build the world's best base whilst we do. Because that definitely shows how healthy I am in regard to my mental health, that I immediately go to something like this. But what we're doing here, I'm just building the barracks. So, yeah, where will people know you from already, Ryan? Because I heard you've done things before.
Yes, so we met... I host a podcast alongside a friend of mine called That's What People Do. And we talk about people who have done cool, interesting, and horrible things throughout history.
Yep.
So we talk about, for instance, there's a guy called Dashrath Manji, who is a Indian guy who literally by hand carved a pathway through a mountain.
Oh, wow.
And it took him 20 years to do it, and he did it with a hammer and a chisel.
See, if he had put the cheats on, then what you can do is you can just press Control-C, and you can build all this stuff straight away.
Or he could have bought a bulldozer like
significantly easier.
Just gone straight through it.
Significantly easier.
This guy didn't have a cheat code book or manual, so he ended up just using a hammer and a chisel.
If anything, that's just bad planning, to be honest. I'm not. Some people would say that's grit and determination. Bad planning, I'm afraid.
But yeah, so like he's a guy that not many people will have heard of, and his story is really kind of inspirational. So he's like, let's talk about that guy.
Yeah.
And we talk about some kind of nasty people as well. There are some people out there that have done some truly horrible stuff.
Yeah, you were talking about the one you're doing this most recently, aren't you? I mean, are you allowed to sort of give us sort of sneak peek of what you're planning on doing next?
Well, that person that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
She won't be coming out for another 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So this goes out today, so she won't be coming out for another 3 weeks. So I can't even give like a little spoiler or a little hint, anything like that. That will be purely like we'll find out when that comes out.
Sounds good.
Our latest episode that just came out last week is about a lady called Tanya Head.
Okay.
Well, her name's actually not Tanya Head. She's from... Well, her name is Tanya Head. She survived 9/11. Okay, she was on like the 70th floor of one of the towers, and she was actually on a floor above where the plane hit the tower.
That's crazy.
And
yeah.
Of all the people that were above that impact point, only 19 people survived, and which she was one of them. Okay.
Oh wow.
Now her husband David was in the other tower and unfortunately passed away.
Oh okay.
Okay. And she made a big hoo-ha about it. Of course, she survived. She was made almost kind of a celebrity through this.
Yeah.
She became the president of a survivors network, and turns out she lied about the whole thing.
Oh wow.
She wasn't even in the country. She'd never even been in the United States before 9/11 had happened.
That's crazy.
And she, even after then, had never been to the United States. She wasn't in the United States till I think 2004, which is obviously 3 years after the actual event happened.
So she just made this whole thing up?
Made the whole thing up.
That's
and
insane.
Yeah, so we were talking about her. She's like, what people shouldn't do. Talk about, like, lie about that kind of thing. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we talk about some cool people that have done some really cool, interesting stuff. We also talk about people that have done some just truly just horrible, bad stuff that you probably shouldn't do.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to repeat what you hear.
Because she does get found out, and she obviously has not been found ever since. We don't know where she is now.
Oh, really?
And what she's up to. So yeah, that's where I do a podcast. And if you have heard of me at all, that's probably where it would have been from. So yeah, that's what I do. And then we actually got talking. I contacted you because
yes,
I came across your Facebook page with your articles and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just live for gaming. I love it. and I was like, I need some new articles to find out all the gaming news, and I came across yours, and then just dropped you a message and was like, hi, I do a podcast, do you want to meet and have a chat?
Yeah, and I took pity on him and decided to... No, I'm joking. It's a really, really good series that you do with your friend, don't you? It's
Yeah, I do. A good friend of mine, James K.
Yeah.
You can follow him on Twitter. He's on just find it at James K. I'm sure
Yeah.
I'd appreciate the follow. We both used to work together, and we just seemed to just click and get on, and we're like, we've got a lot of things we're kind of both interested in. And then I was like, do you want to do a podcast? And then we just started it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting podcast, and if you haven't already checked it out, guys, I would definitely say to check it out. You talk about a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, like really cool people. It's factual. we likened it in our first episode as like Wikipedia for your ears.
Yeah.
You learn enough about these particular people, but you won't become an expert. I promise you that.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I would definitely check it out, guys. If you haven't already checked it out, I'd definitely pop over and check it out. And what's the name of that podcast again, just so they can check it out?
It's That's What People Do.
That's What People Do.
And you can find us on Instagram at That's What People Do Podcast. And you'll find us on Spotify, iTunes, or any really of your favoured podcast apps.
Okay.
Or you can just tweet us at That's WPD.
Sounds great. Sounds really cool. I mean, I'm a fan. I really like what you do, and of course you're a fan of my stuff.
Yeah.
I do a few different bits and pieces on nextevnick.com, so check them out as well, guys, if you haven't already. But what we're doing today is I'm just quite happily building this whilst you're talking about that there. So these guys here, what we're doing is, here are our henchmen just wandering around. Now you'll see these
the minions.
Yep, these are our minions here walking
on the gym
around.
stuff. Look at them on the gym.
These guys here are not our minions. These are the local sort of police force.
They are the constabulary.
Yep, so I have basically...
Why are they beating up our minion?
They apparently decided to start attacking my locker room, so I've sent my guys in to arrest them. There's one of our major henchmen there. And what we're going to do is I've issued a capture order, which means when it's built, they will be put into one of our holding cells for interrogation. Because we can interrogate people on this. We are Maximilian, who is... I think he's wandering around over here somewhere.
Where is Maximilian?
Oh, there he is.
He's just sitting in his locker room.
He's got his little aura of...
is that gold in there?
That is gold. We pay for everything with bullion.
Excellent.
So all of our minions are running around with suitcases, and the reason I use the cheat on this is because it's so much more fun. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You've got minion health and stuff. There's a lot of sweet little touches to the game. Yep. So they do like little salutes when you click on them. They're great. You can have them basically arrested. You can use like daze attacks and things like that. You can have them killed, but you've also got all of their needs here. So if their needs, for example, their mental state is lowering too low, or their perception gets too low, or their strength gets too low, then they're in trouble, and you have to look after them to make sure they're sort of healthy minions.
Have you just glossed over that those police officers are dead?
Yeah, we're just leaving them there. They're not dead. They're just unconscious. They're sleeping.
Oh, right. Okay.
Once we've got our...
I suppose we are supervillains.
Yeah, we need to be able to do this
evil
kind of
geniuses.
Thing.
Sorry, we're not villains.
Yeah, exactly. There's no such thing. No such thing. And we believe we're the good guy. We don't. I've got a death cubicle here. We don't. It's just a steamroller. We'll build one.
A death cubicle is a steamroller.
Yeah, basically they go in there and they come out in a different way. You'll find out.
So we turn them into pasta sheets.
Pretty much.
Lasagna sheets.
Pretty much. There is an element of that. Yeah. See, you're catching on already. You'll be fine with this. But I really like this game. Full disclosure, I love this game. I used to play this a lot when it first came out. I was a big fan of this, and it's basically a case of, it's a bit like Theme Hospital for evil. It's an evil Theme Hospital, and Theme Hospital in itself is pretty evil, to be fair, when you see what... These are just the training videos, when you see what the kind of thing you can do. But all we're doing really is just building up a little bit of a base here, so I'm going to put my rifle cabinets in here. What you can do as well is all of these items, you'll see you've got disguised versions we can unlock later, but we've got them all already because I've cheated. If anything, it's the evil thing to do, so I think I've gotten into the spirit of the game, if anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you can hear our announcer sounding off like crazy in the background. She's just telling us that we haven't got certain things, but we'll get there, She's just eager.
What does she think we need?
Well, she's saying that we haven't got this, we haven't got that, we need more power, we need more X, Y, and Z, but we're getting there. She needs to just be patient. At the moment,
Rome was not built in a day.
No, and neither was this mountain base. But she will get there. She will understand eventually. But no, it's a really fun little game, and with the sequel coming out, I thought it would be a good thing to have as a bit of a relaxing background viewing as we sort of crack on with our bits and pieces.
Why is our mountain just falling apart?
Oh, we're blowing up holes in the mountain to build our stuff.
Build it.
Yep, there's our little tarpaulin, you'll see there. So it's just a bit more fun if you put the cheats on, I find.
So what we're doing here is we're laying down the blueprints for what we want in there, and then the guys in time will start it.
Yeah, that's it. They basically get to it when they get to it, to be honest. You can have one of them killed to inspire the others. which we will be
really?
doing in a little while. Yeah, I can show you that if you insisted. You insisted, right?
I did.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like you insisted. It sounded like you were very insistent, so I'm just going to assume that...
I like that we have 2 fire extinguishers in this myriad of amaze.
Yeah, we're very conscious about health and safety. So there they are. They're running off with briefcases of money to buy our stuff. Well, briefcases of bullion to buy our stuff. But say if we send our Maximilian here, he has some of the best voice lines. Yeah, he's wonderful. He's wonderfully camp. We'll send him over here to inspire the others.
He's like a massive man baby.
He's great, isn't he? I like to believe he is.
Yeah.
So we'll send him over here, and then stereotypically the best line, he's inspiring others by being random, but also...
We'll hold him up. Oh!
That's it. Extra inspiration.
Brilliant. Now get working quicker.
Yep, they'll all work a little bit faster now, and their loyalty as well as their mental health will go up whenever you're nearby, or their perception.
They have mental health.
They do. You need to make sure that you're, a good minion is a healthy minion is a happy minion.
Which is why we have a gym. Well, hold on, our dead people have just moved on.
Yep, we've just moved them about 4 feet.
Right.
It looks like we've got that's
Dynamite.
C4 for blowing up a wall.
Brilliant.
Yep, they're hard workers, but they're not smart workers.
No.
This is our major minion as well. This is one of our henchmen.
Right.
We can give him direct orders.
Our guy has a katana.
Technically speaking, this is a no smoking zone, but we are evil, so we can't say much. That's the problem with being evil, is that you can't really enforce
Any
PR.
rules? No.
Really, no. I find
there's no HR department here.
I feel like our HR department is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once you've got cells, you can't really have a HR department. Once we've got our deaf cubicle, there'll be no need for a HR department.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we were going to talk about a few bits and pieces today in regard to like mental health and things like that.
Yeah, that was a good tangent to say that our guys had
definitely
mental health.
From deaf cubicles to mental health. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was I've always found that gaming for me has been something that has helped me through some pretty dark times, to be honest. I've had some really sort of dark problems in the past. Like I've had a few times where, you do end up feeling you really struggle with things. What about yourself? I was going to ask you, because I know you've said to me, of course, that gaming is one of the things you've been hugely into, and people will kind of know you from talking about, other different issues on things like your podcast. But how do you feel about things like mental health? Is that something that you find? How do you find gaming sort of fits into that?
I've dealt with mental health for nearly 10 years now.
Okay.
And one of the first things you start to realise, I remember like, and this might get a bit, I don't know, dark or whatever for like you viewers or listeners or whatever, but for me, I remember sitting in the doctor's room, and I sat there for about 10 minutes and I didn't say a word. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I really struggled. And I remember what happened is it actually took my mum to ring the doctors and say, can my boy have an appointment? He needs help somewhere. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, can you please see him, right? And they were like, absolutely, yes. So my mum dropped me off at the doctor's and was just like, look, just go in and just, I don't know, do something, right?
Yeah.
And now, don't get me wrong, my family are very, very supportive and always have been. But the thing is that, and I find this maybe happens to a lot of families, they don't kind of understand yet properly. And they maybe struggle with that.
I think that fear comes into it. I think a lot of the time people want to help, but they're kind of afraid that they're not sure how
to
works.
help. Yeah, exactly. And so they're so scared of doing the wrong thing that they end up doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so what happened is I went to the doctor and he sort of was like, "What's the problem, Ryan?" And then he had an idea. He had an inkling. Obviously, when you book a doctor's appointment, you have to kind of tell them generally what it's about. So he had an idea of what was happening. And he said, "What's the problem, Ryan?" And I remember sat there for about 10 minutes and I didn't say a word. And he sat there and didn't say anything either. And it was just a nice, warm environment in which it was like, if you're ready to say something, that's absolutely fine. If not, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And eventually I just sort of just started telling him how I felt. And because I wasn't able to articulate, what was wrong. I could only tell him how I felt. And that's how it sort of started. And then, we went on from there. And I remember I brought my mum into the doctor's and said to the doctor, could you please explain to her in layman's terms what's going on with me?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's hard to know that you're... I think one of the reasons why I really wanted to cover this with you is we've both been in those kind of places, and it being Mental Health Day, it's never been a better time to really talk about it.
Absolutely.
But I think it's something that people do need to talk about. I think a lot of the time people do, and I think it affects everyone. I know people will say, well, I'm not sure if this has affected me, but I think everyone at some stage in their life has had or will have an incident where they feel low or they feel like they don't know how to deal with a certain situation, or don't know how to talk to someone, those kind of things just come naturally. And I think it's really healthy to get that conversation out there and just normalise that kind of thing.
Oh God, it's so healthy to talk about it. Yeah, I suppose the only way I could maybe liken it, mental health is almost like a bad fart that you haven't let out.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you just keep that bad fart in, you'll get a stomachache. And
Yeah.
if you just keep not letting it out, it will just start to hurt.
That's a very disgusting and apt way to talk about this.
It gets worse and it gets worse. But I tell you what, if you just open up and let that out,
I wish you hadn't used the words open up.
you would feel
to be honest.
so much better afterwards.
The only words that could have made that worse was using the term "open up." I agree with most of that, apart from the metaphor. Thank you for that.
That's a very good metaphor.
That's an image that will haunt me.
Yeah.
For at least now, I'm going to need help. But
Yeah.
no, I think it's the same for me. I mean, I struggled with issues when I was younger. I think the problem is, we were saying about this before, is one of the reasons why you shouldn't be ashamed of if you do have any kind of issue like that. I don't think anyone should be anyway.
No,
is
never.
that it does affect people. It tends to affect people who are very intelligent, because you do have an outlook on your own life. You are contemplating your own existence. You're thinking about where you fit in the world. You're thinking about how different things affect you. How do I fit in? How do I do this? Or how do I not fit in? How am I different? Am I different? And I think it's good to get that out there, because I think people need to sometimes just hear other people saying, yeah, those feelings are justified, and you're okay. Like, you'll be okay. And that's one of the hardest things to convince someone of when they're not okay. It's very hard to convince someone by saying, you are going to get through this, and they think, well, you say that now. It's like what you're meant to say, isn't it? But at the same time, it is true. And no matter how sort of unbelievable that may seem where you are right now, you will get through stuff. And I think
definitely will.
Hearing someone else talk about that sometimes helps. So we wanted to bring that out there as well. It sounds like a bit of a dark start, but I think it's something we just both wanted to get out, really, just to sort of say to people, if you are in that kind of position where you feel like you're struggling and you need to talk to someone, don't be afraid to talk about it, and make sure that you feel confident in that. There's nothing wrong with you because you've got something that's upsetting you. There's nothing inherently wrong. It's not anything wrong with you whatsoever. It's just something that you need to talk about, and that's okay.
And talking is so important. If you don't talk, the chances are it can get worse.
Yeah.
A lot of the time things spiral out of control because you don't talk.
Yeah.
And sometimes all it would take is just one conversation with someone, and they may have the answer, but you'd never know, because if you keep it amongst yourself and you don't speak to them, you're not going to fix that problem. It's so important and so healthy to just talk about how you feel.
Yeah.
I think more people ought to be more open and accepting to listening to other people.
Yeah.
It's so important to do that.
I think a lot of the time people don't realise how accepting people will be. I mean, personally speaking, one of the things that really held me back was I didn't have a very good childhood per se. I wasn't particularly happy as a child. And for all sorts of different reasons, really. It was all sorts of things. But I was very worried about talking about how I felt, because I was worried other people wouldn't understand, or they would say, I'll snap out of it, or they wouldn't understand, or they'd be angry at me, was another thing. And in reality, it's not the case at all. It's something that you can get through. You can definitely talk to people about, and you'll be surprised at how many people are actually very accepting, very understanding, and you'll be surprised how many people have actually been there themselves.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. Some of the people that I thought were the strongest people I knew happened to be the people that suffered the most from that kind of thing. So it really helped me to hear that. Just knowing that there's someone else out there who's got a similar situation to my own made me feel just much better. And I say that as I put down the laboratory laser. But it's all of these are unlockables, by the way.
What's this you're just putting down now? That's the laser, isn't it?
Yeah, these are all for basically researching like different technologies and stuff.
Is this like our R&D room?
Yeah, exactly. But what we're going to use it for is it's also used for interrogation. Okay. And we're not going to play for ages today. I just wanted people to get an idea of what this game's like. So, I just thought, how better to do that than with lasers? So I'm gonna show you the lasers and stuff. We're just building a nice base here, and then we're gonna start doing our missions. Okay. I haven't got us all the minions. There are like loads of different types of minion, but half the fun is getting the minions. So instead, what we'll do is we're just gonna build our evil lair.
Well, this room currently is completely closed off to all the other rooms, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment
we haven't got a walkway.
We're taking it bit by bit. So what we're going is I'm gonna have a little corridor down here. I like the way you've noticed that though. That's good. That's good minion planning there. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a little corridor in here, and then we're going to carry this on here, because we've still got 2 buildings we need to fit in. It's a little bit like playing a massive game of Jenga, to be honest, but it's really good. It's a really fun game. You can pick it up really cheap on Steam now. but it's really, really good. But I wanted to talk to you as well about a few bits in regard to like news this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we can have any kind of video this week without talking about a certain issue in regard to, shall we say, Hearthstone and China?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much do you know about this already?
As far as I'm aware, there was a gaming competition for playing Hearthstone.
Yep.
In Taiwan.
Grandmasters too, yeah.
And one of the guys who won the competition made quite a political statement after winning.
Yep.
I believe he said to free Hong Kong.
Yeah, he said liberation or liberate Hong Kong, I think. I can't remember verbatim the exact sort of tone he said, but
and he won, I think it is $10,000. It was his prize money for winning the competition.
Yes, yeah.
And then he said those words at the end and lost the money.
Yeah, basically, yeah, you're exactly right. What basically happened is Blitzchung is his sort of nickname.
Okay.
And he was competing in the tournament and things like that. He's sort of a pro player. He said a sort of statement about the whole issue in Hong Kong right now. Like he said, liberate Hong Kong or Hong Kong liberation now. And obviously that didn't go down too well. So what Blizzard then did as a repercussion was they banned him from playing for the next 12 months in a competitive sort of field, and they also took away all the money, and they also fired the 2 streamers that were streaming. So that's kind of all over the internet right now, and I think people would be a little bit surprised if we didn't talk about it.
That's a very harsh punishment.
I think that's the thing. That's what bothers me too. I think the problem is that, you know, we've got now, especially, there's a lot of politicians weighing in on this and talking about this too, but I think the issue is that the punishment seems so harsh.
It does.
I mean, we've already had a few politicians weigh in on this. There's been a few different people sort of saying about the appeasement in regard to sort of China and things like that. There's Reddit at the moment is unbelievable. Like the memes are hilarious, but also it's huge. You know, it's a really big deal right now, and I think that's the problem with me as well. I just think it's so harsh. It just seems so over the top. I mean, I don't know what you make of the whole thing in general. I mean, considering the kind of stuff that's going on in Hong Kong right now, I don't want to get too deep into that because obviously it's quite a heavy conversation.
It's a very hot topic.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more there that needs to be unpacked. I think it's a difficult thing to talk about in abstract. I think we could do the entire chat about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But just for the actual sort of side of things we've seen in regard to Blizzard, I think it's so harsh, especially considering this guy's sort of health and safety is kind of forfeit, considering.
Well, I understand that gaming is like a platform where, you know, things shouldn't matter. Politics should not get involved in gaming, or like, you know, world affairs. Gaming for me as a kid was like somewhere where I could escape and you know, and be free from all my issues and that, you know, but when it comes to this was made political by this guy, but then he also felt like he had a platform to share something political, you know. And but I am not entirely sure whether he was right to do so or not, you know. But then at the same time, I don't understand really his motives for doing it.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult from the outside. I mean, I think that what he did, I don't think it was a bad thing per se. I think it's very difficult to separate games from politics in regard to, like, you know, everything is influenced by everything, isn't it? But I think the problem is with this specific kind of situation is I can understand why Blizzard would kind of not want to get involved in this. I can totally understand why they would think, I want to stay out of this, don't want to get involved in this. But I think they could have handled it so much better. I mean, if they'd said, okay, you shouldn't have said that really, you're banned for the next 2 months, we don't condone it, and it's not our view, it's not our opinion, then I think, well, fair enough, you know, your policy does say no political statements.
Yeah, that I'm with.
That's fair enough. But then when you're taking away someone's winnings and you're also saying, okay, you can't play for 12 months, which is, you know, for him it's not just a lifestyle, it's also like a
because
business,
I don't truly understand what the purpose of taking away his winnings were, because this guy has, you know, legitimately
earned those per se,
earned this prize by winning the competition.
Yeah.
And okay, he's made a political statement which you may not agree with or don't want to get involved in. Just ban him. Ban him for, you know, a month or two, but I think that's ridiculous. To ban him for so long and to take away all of the prize money that he won from that competition, I think that's very, very strong.
I think that's the problem. I think it's too much. If it was, I think no one would have a problem if it was a legitimate, like an issue that was easily fixed. Like if you said, okay, you're banned for X amount of time. It's not a huge amount of time, but at the same time, just have a think about this, and in future, please don't speak about political things on our platform. But I think the issue is they've panicked so much because of the fact that we are talking about a country that is, no shade to the country. Well, to be honest, at the moment, I wouldn't say that. But the whole thing is that we're talking about a country that does kind of fly off the handle about these things. I mean, did you see the recent South Park thing?
I haven't yet, no.
Yeah, they did an episode that basically took the mick out of China, and then they issued an apology that also took the mick out of China.
Brilliant.
And they're now banned, but there was also some stuff with the NBA, I think, where there was a couple of issues with a game and a coach was fired.
Oh, I've not heard about that.
Yeah, so there's been quite a lot of stuff going on there at the moment, and it's the issue with this kind of thing is the people in question that are getting fired are kind of standing up for democracy. So it's very difficult to say. I can understand why you don't want to weigh in there, but you wouldn't personally, as a business, go out there to make a statement. But if someone makes a statement, I think you have a certain degree of like a duty of care to look after that person. So it's a difficult situation, but I think they could handle it so much better.
It does seem a bit shady and a bit there are ulterior motives somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
a financial ulterior motive.
A financial ulterior motive, not evil genius level ulterior motive, but just a financial gain.
There aren't enough mountains.
No,
there aren't enough mountains.
There must be some sort of financial gain as to why they would back this sort of punishment.
Yeah, well, I think all you need to do really is look at the kind of earnings that you get in regard to like the Chinese market, especially when it comes to like mobile games and things like that. I mean, we all know about another Blizzard debacle, which is the Diablo Immortal situation, and that was primarily meant for the sort of Chinese market, for the kind of sales that they get there. And it's just, I think the problem is that with these are our, just to go through this very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is our minion page. So we've got our workers here.
Minion
on
management.
the left.
This is like minion vending machines.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got our little minions here. So we've got 20 out of a possible 24. We're training more, and these are how they specialise into different specialisations.
Mm-hmm.
But to get them, we have to find and kidnap someone who can then train our minions, and then we interrogate them to learn the secrets, and then we can train our minions.
Also, go back to our map as well. I noticed at the bottom part of your mountain to the right.
Yep.
I think it looked like a classroom.
Oh, this one here, or are we talking about this one here?
No, down one more.
Yep, here.
Yeah, is this like our re-education room?
This is our library. So what we do here is we can teach our archives, they call it, but we can teach our minions different things. They can learn here from other people. We've got a training room up here where they can learn things. We've got like a little dojo here. There's a lot of stuff you can add here.
We have a dojo.
We have got a dojo.
Oh yeah, because one of our top dudes has got a katana.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to have somewhere to swing it and practice. Oh, we've got a piranha tank.
These are all of our traps. So all this stuff dinging up here on the top left is stuff that I've basically used the cheats to unlock.
Right.
So as you can see, these guys sometimes escape, but for the moment, we've got them just trapped in
a death cell as well.
There they are.
Can we use the death cell?
We can use a death cell. That's not a problem. Sounds like a song by Papa Roach. Let's just get... What we'll do as well is the time clocks here. We might be evil, but we are into time management. So when it comes to our guys, we need to make sure...
in and out.
Yeah, definitely. They need to put some
work in.
They've
got to get paid, don't they?
Yeah, come on, put some effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Laziness is not accepted in my regime.
Do we have a union, though?
Do we have a... no, minions aren't allowed unions, I'm afraid.
Minions are not allowed. They've got timestamps and time clocking machines so they get paid, but they don't have a union.
Unlike the games industry, we don't have a union, but that is because we literally admit we're evil. Whereas the game industry will try and tell you that it's because of other reasons. But it is just evil. So what we'll do is... I admit I'm evil. So you wanted to see the death chamber. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my lord.
Oh, don't ruin it now. We'll get rid of this. This is just tutorials.
Alright. What? See... Wow. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. We've made a lasagna sheet of a man.
Oh, we're talking about interrogating hostages here. And he becomes a body bag. And then what we need to do is the body bags, if they get found, can cause us kind of problems. So what we'll do, I'm just using the cheats here to
what sort of
make a bit of
problems?
money. Well, they can take photos. The agents can come in and destroy stuff. or they can steal from us.
Are we going against, like, there are secret agents trying to infiltrate us?
There are from all around the world, and they can come in and basically destroy our stuff, or they can steal from us based on the agent class.
So do we have to kind of almost look like we're legitimate?
Yeah, we can build a legitimate front business, which is a tourist hotel where hoteliers will come and enjoy themselves. But we can also interrogate people to find out their secrets. So I'll order an interrogation on this guy. So we will interrogate this guy when we get a chance, and that body bag will go into our freezers down here, where we can hang the body bags. They deteriorate slower, but they don't get seen.
Can we not cremate them at all?
No, they have to sit in there. Basically what we do is, if people see them, like other agents, they'll take photos, and they can be used to increase our notoriety, which is a bit of a double-edged sword, because if our notoriety increases, we get more dangerous agents on the island.
Right.
But it also means we can get better jobs, because I will show you now, as we're getting a few more minions in here. I might build a bit more in the barracks so we can get a few more minions, because the minions are basically based on how many of these kind of items we have here. So it's all about good space management. We'll put that there. So what we'll do is we'll build this here to make it so that we can have a few more minions. But yeah, I think the issue is that with anything like this, it's very hard to weigh in on, like you say. It's very difficult to weigh in on what we personally believe is right and wrong in regard to, like, freedom of speech. Personally speaking, I think that everyone should be allowed to express their opinion, and I don't obviously agree with the sort of situation that's going on in Hong Kong right now. I think it's horrible that so many people are in danger just because of the fact that they want to be able to speak their mind and, you know, basically be safe. But I think the issue is that if a company has a certain rule about when they can and can't, people can and can't talk about that, that's okay. But at the same time, if you're going to punish someone, then you need to do it for the right reasons. And if that situation has occurred, you need to make sure that you're doing the right thing. You can't just have a knee-jerk response that puts someone, for example, in danger. Yeah, we're interrogating this guy with Michael Jackson-related moves right now.
I thought he was doing a little... Like, yeah, oh, there's the lean.
Yep. It's a pretty good game for this kind of thing.
Yeah, this game's got to be careful about it. I remember Fortnite or Epic getting a bit of trouble with their dance moves.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is old enough now that the statute of limitations is probably passed.
Yeah.
So when we interrogate someone, they then die.
He just died.
Yep, these guys, all that happens with the guys...
The dance moves were so good, he died.
Oh yeah, sometimes they hit them with cymbals. They're fantastic. But you don't have to just use the chair. You can interrogate them with a lot of different equipment. But one of the things you can do is that with these minions here, if they interrogate these generic soldiers, then all that happens is they get a morale boost from just enjoyment.
Brilliant.
Because they're evil.
They're masochists.
Yeah, exactly.
Sadists.
I only hire the finest masochists.
Brilliant.
From organic farms.
That's part of the interview process.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get off being sadistically beaten? Yes, I do.
What we like to do is during the interview process, I have one of our guys hit his own thumb or catch his thumb in the door, and if they laugh, they're immediately hired.
Okay. And if they cry, they're killed.
Yeah, immediately. They're put into a freezer. As you can see here, the major training is just carrying those briefcases. Takes a lot of effort.
Like ants.
They are great, aren't they?
They're like little workarounds.
Little mindless drones.
Running around, doing
little
their bits.
mindless drones.
And then in comes Maximilian. Oh, hello.
Yep.
And they just shoots you.
He's just been sitting over here for a while. He's the only one I can, apart from the henchman, he's the only one I can directly control. All the others just sort of wander around. But what we'll do is I will start showing you how many layers this game has, because here is the mission screen.
Okay, where are we?
So we are kind of off the map. We're off the grid on like a secret island. But what we can do is it's basically the map is separated in different areas. So we've got Sabre, which is basically a bit like NATO. We've got over here we've got the Soviet kind of areas with Hammer. Do you get it? Hammer, like sickle and such. Yeah.
Bit on the nose.
Subtle. We've got Anvil over here. We've got Sabre over here. Patriot over here.
Brilliant.
Do you get it? And then over here we've got Smash. Like the mash. So what we do is we can look at an area. We've got our mission here, and it will say what the mission is and what we get from it. So at the moment we haven't got much information, but if we had guys sitting at these tables, then we would get more information on what each mission is.
So we need some info, guys.
We do need some info, so I'm going to get some guys working on those desks. At the moment they're all sort of running around happily building.
Making it look like they're doing work.
Yeah. They have failed me for the last time. In a minute I'll shoot one. No, but it's a really good game actually. It's really underrated for what it is. We can use the time clocks to designate who's working where at what times. So we've always got staff in certain areas. So here, that desk there you can see, that desk is for cameras. So if anyone gets detected on our camera network, it will do like a call out so we can tell where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to make sure that we've got men in every station, just so we've got people manning everywhere. But it's a really fun, underrated game. I really like it, and I was really excited for the sequel. Actually, barely anyone I know has heard of this game.
Yeah, I hadn't. To be fair, like I didn't really grow up playing PC games at all.
Oh, really?
I've never really got into them. I think I played the original Call of Duties on PC.
Yeah.
Which are the best Call of Duties.
Yeah, I remember those.
It had good old Captain Price.
Yep. Back in the day when his mustache didn't come in a loot box.
Back in the day, and it. That's such a hot topic.
I don't know what you mean.
There are no loot boxes in Modern Warfare.
There were none
in the beta.
There's none whatsoever.
So there will not be any in the main game.
It wouldn't be like that.
No, they wouldn't.
Activision is not that kind of company. I won't have it said.
They wouldn't hide loot boxes from a beta and shove.
They don't do that kind of thing. AAA developers do not do that kind of thing anymore.
I'll be very upset if it's in the main game.
What are you trying to imply? Can I change Maximilian's name?
Can we
just change it to Bobby Kotick and then just carry on playing? But yeah, you were saying, sorry.
So yeah, I played the original Call of Duty on PC, and I actually got the expansion packs with it as well, which got you in like Russia.
Yeah.
Which was wicked. It was so good. I loved that game. I played that like you wouldn't believe. I rinsed that. But that was about it. Although I did have Battlefield.
Yep.
1942 on PC. Which
that was so
good. And I even had, again, expansion pack. I miss expansion pack days, man, when it was like a full-on game that you were buying. And it was cheap. And I got the Secret Weapons expansion pack, which gave you all of like World War II's like weapons that never really made it to the battlefield.
Yeah.
It was so good. It had like awesome aircraft and everything like that. I loved those games. And then I think the last ever PC game I probably played was it was a Star Trek game, but I bought it from like a car boot sale because it was like 99p or whatever. And I didn't know Star Trek back then. I knew Star Wars, but I didn't know Star Trek.
Yeah.
And all I knew was that the Borg were in it. And I never played it properly. I just played it because I was a kid playing a game, and it was on the PC.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the last ever PC game I ever played. So my PC gaming knowledge and experience is very, very limited.
We're going to change that.
So yeah, I pretty much exclusively play on a PlayStation now.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the PS4, the PC, obviously. Like, we're playing at the moment on like a gaming laptop.
Yeah.
I've got a Switch as well, which I would recommend actually. The Switch is really good.
I used to own a Switch.
Really?
I used to own a Switch.
What happened to your Switch?
Well, I bought the Switch because I was just really excited about it. I thought it looks cool. I can take the controllers off. I can put it anywhere. And at the time, I used to work in London as well. And my commute was about an hour to 20 minutes.
It's so good for commuting.
And I used to just sit down and I'd just sit and play my Switch. And I remember when I was on the commute, I was playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Oh, wow.
And it was,
good choice.
That game. What a good game.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd get like a little table on the train. So I'd just take the controllers off. And I'd sit the screen on the table and just sit there and just play Xenoverse, and people just watch me like, dude, you're like 25, and I'm like, I don't care.
I worked in a school not too long ago, and one of the things that came up was I've never understood that argument about games. Where someone says, "Oh yeah, well games are for kids." And
I hate it when people say that.
I don't understand that argument. Like that's like saying, "Oh yeah, you're right," and soap operas are for old people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. That's such a generic, generalised stereotype that has no real place in. You can't. I think back in the days when I was younger, anyway, I can understand why people used to say that because it was the thing. I think people didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But now, when you're at the stage where you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar industry, I mean, the best piece of selling media or best entertainment media sales-wise ever is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, that's what I don't understand. It seems a bit hypocritical of to hear when someone says games are for children, and then you look at them then arguing, going, "Oh, but this Grand Theft Auto's got that hyper-violence," and you're like, "But I thought games were for kids." Well, this game clearly isn't for kids. So which one is it?
I don't know why people reject media like that.
People who say games are for kids haven't played The Last of Us.
Oh god, I'm so hyped for
they haven't played that. You haven't played a game where I've played games where I've been so invested in a character that I've cried when they cry or when they get hurt or die.
Yeah.
I've cried with them, you know.
Yeah.
No, so much spoilers. I mean, we know that The Last of Us 2 will be coming out in 2020.
So very quickly, if you haven't played it, I'm guessing this is going to be a spoiler.
Get on and play The Last of Us Remastered, because
it's free at the moment.
Particularly if you're on PlayStation, it's free now. It's part of their Game of the Month that you can get with your PlayStation subscription. Play it. It's amazing. No spoilers, but the first 20 to 30 minutes will make you cry.
I think the thing that I love about those kind of games, one of the things I look for in games, and I've made this argument before, is I think I'm just putting down our security network here, by the way.
Because, see, you got a security loudspeaker.
Yeah, this is how I sell the microtransactions.
Or what about a heavy duty one? No, that's one you're laying, isn't it?
I was laying the smaller one at the moment just because of the power drain. It was my thinking, because we've got nuclear power plants here. You're not meant to have those.
But that's the cleanest fuel ever.
We're evil, but we're not that evil.
No, that's what I mean. We're actually saving the planet by having nuclear fuel.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is we're evil, but we're not that evil.
Yeah.
We're evil, but we're not stupid.
We're evil, but we still want a planet to be evil one.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is when you rule something, you want to make sure it lasts. You know, I mean, the last thing you want to do is take over the world and then have it slowly be destroyed by the use of fossil fuels.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what we're doing is everyone's still building at the moment, so they're all rushing around. When they're done, we're going to start constructing a bit of a master plan.
Are we able to like zoom out and just see the island or the mountain that we're in?
The furthest I can zoom is this far, but without anything in.
But yeah, without anything in.
I can turn a little bit, but it's basically
that looks cool.
What we can also do is outdoors. We can build hotels. I could build a little topside shack, so it looks like a shack when you go inside. There we go, a camouflage door.
Nice.
Looks like a little tiki hut.
Yeah,
we could do that.
Yeah,
we'll build
it's almost like we'll. And the top opens up, and you imagine it's like Thunderbirds are go.
We can build disguised sentry guns that look like tiny sandcastles.
Excellent.
We can build camouflage security cameras that look like skeletons. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do here. It's a really, really good game. It's
very fun.
It's got so much potential. I'm surprised that it didn't do that well, to be honest. It's
Do we know who made this
fun
game?
Off the top of my head, I can't actually remember.
Yeah, that's a big thing to ask.
It's a. I will check that. Actually, that's a good point. I will check that because it's just really worth it. If you haven't played it, you can get it quite cheap, and it's so worth the money.
Because it'd be interesting to see if the company that made this game are making the second one still.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Because that would be really cool. Because from what I've seen so far, there is so many things in there that are so tropey, which is brilliant, and it just seems like so much fun. But it also makes you think, what can they do to improve the game now by making a sequel? Like, what more can we get in that?
Well, it was originally made by Vivendi, and Vivendi were bought out by someone else.
Right.
I think it was Ubisoft, but I will check. The next one is developed and published by Rebellion Developments.
Okay, and
who I have not heard. Oh, Rebellion Developments. Okay.
They made Warriors, no?
They did. They also made. They made the Sniper Elite games.
Excellent.
Strange Brigade, Alien vs Predator. They also made. Do you remember? I think they made.
That Alien vs Predator, the PC one from like years ago.
It is the more recent variation, but the PC one from 2010. There is an older one as well in 1999, which I used to play.
Yeah, that's the 99. That's the one I know.
Oh, and they did develop on the original Evil Genius as well.
Oh, interesting. So they got some alright pedigree.
Looks like some interesting stuff. Star Wars Battlefront originals, yeah.
Wow.
I know them as a studio, but I remember, to be honest, no shade thrown their way, I remember most of their games being like okay, if you know what I mean. They were okay. There's Ground Control there and Ground Control 2, I remember them. They made some games that were like, they were okay. I like some of their stuff. I'm looking forward to the next one because
I'm a big fan of Sniper Elite.
Yeah, I quite like.
I love the X-ray shots.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Which are very good.
I can't play Sniper Elite though for more than about half an hour, and then I'm a bit bored.
They are a bit samey.
Yeah, I feel
which is probably why they're making this game as a remake. It's probably very easy for them.
Yeah, there is an element.
I imagine now it's going to be. Where's he going?
That is a little maid that has visited our island, but we can interrogate her and gain the valet. Which is our little minion that not only looks after our other minions, but can also run our establishments like our hotels. Our other two generic spies have died, so we will now be at the stage where other spies will be visiting our island as well. But it's a really good game, actually. It's got a lot of potential, so we can, for example, steal these library blueprints. So if we didn't have a library already, we could send our men to steal the blueprints and build our own.
Because every man needs to read.
Yeah, exactly. I stress the importance of education with my workforce.
Yeah.
I make them all read. So what we'll do is we're just getting settled now. They're starting to finish off all their construction, which is good. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the next one. In honesty, I'm really looking forward to it. But you said you primarily sort of played The Last of Us, and you were affected by the first sort of 20 minutes. I know exactly what you're talking about as well, and it is brutal. It's really good, but it hits right in the feels. And I was going to ask you this. I've made this argument before. I feel like good story writing, good character creation, kind of trumps graphics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of that?
So when I was a kid, I remember thinking if I had this thing in my head, whereas so I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
So the first ever games I played were on a Sega Mega Drive, which were generally 2D scrollers.
We have that in common. Yeah, that's a Sega Saturn for everyone in.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was called a Mega Drive. I don't know why they changed the name. It's because Sega Saturn sounds really cool.
It flows a bit better, doesn't it?
It does.
Mega Drive sounds a bit clunky.
Mega Drive's a bit too sci-fi.
It sounds very 80s, doesn't it?
Oh god, yeah.
I feel like that's something that I'd hear in like a reboot. Like, we're going to plug into the Mega Drive.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So games for me growing up were very clunky. And then the next console I had was the PlayStation 1, the original fat PlayStation 1. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at her being taken away.
Oh, isn't it
He's
wonderful?
grabbed her by the scruff of the neck and picked her up.
Only your henchman will do that. All the other minions will carry them over the shoulder.
Because she looks like the maid from like Family Guy.
Yeah. No, she doesn't.
So yeah, like for me, as I've got older, the games have begun to just look more impressive, just because technology's got more.
Yeah.
Has just got better. So when I was growing up, not knowing that much about the gaming industry, as far as I was concerned, as long as it looked better, I was like, oh, games are definitely improving.
Yeah.
But then as I've got older, you start to realise, oh, actually, graphics doesn't make the game better.
I've seen so many good graphics games that have been rubbish.
There are so many games out there that look fantastic, but you go, there's nothing here.
Yeah. And
There is nothing.
I think a lot of it as well is about how you utilise it. Like with this, it's very stylised. This is very 80s stylised gameplay, but it still holds up. It doesn't look bad.
It looks as good as most indies that I've seen.
Yeah, it
still
looks
around
good.
Today.
I think the thing is they've made an artistic choice in regard to how the game looks, and that's held up. Our task there was to capture the maid. What we'll do is I will show you a different interrogation method this time. But I feel like it holds up regardless of how the graphics are.
No, I agree.
Like, I think it looks good with this graphical style. And you can tell that they've basically, that a heart has gone into this. Like, thought has gone into this development and design process. Whereas I feel like it's a lot easier nowadays, especially, to get something like the Unreal Engine, make some really good graphical assets, and then just churn something out. I mean, I've lost count of the number of games that I thought, well, this is pretty, but it's rubbish.
Well, that's me at the moment with sort of the Battlefield games.
Yeah.
The Battlefield games are stunningly beautiful, and I mean, to go on that same vein, the Star Wars Battlefront games.
Oh yeah.
Stunningly beautiful. I remember going through Endor on Battlefront and thinking, I could be actually here.
Yeah.
It's so good looking. But there's just not a lot to it, and once I've played it for a good few hours, that's it. There's not really much else to go on.
Yeah.
Whereas I would take Star Wars Battlefront looking a little less interesting, but having a lot more in it and a lot more substance.
Yeah,
I would take that over that.
I think that's the thing, is I will return to a game if I've had a good experience in regard to story. I will return to a game if there's a specific instance. So there's one, for example, Far Cry 3 for me, the one that introduced Vas Montenegro.
Yep.
That is such an amazing performance, and he's such an iconic bad guy. I think they kind of messed up a little bit by not making him the main bad guy.
Right.
But I will return to that game just every now and then just to watch the cutscenes, because I remember how good they are. And yeah, graphically, it's now not the prettiest game compared to what's out now, but I feel like there's so much more there to enjoy and appreciate. It's so much tighter that I will go back and play it. And with this, there's so much more to it. We're currently interrogating her utilising the mixing bowl in the kitchen.
Oh, we're going to put her in the mixing bowl?
We are going to put her in the kitchen, in the mixing bowl.
That is some form of interrogation.
It's like this as well. There's a lot of style. There we go. And so now she's giving off intelligence.
She bleeds purple.
Yep, that's all of her intelligence. So there's a comb there. There's a load of books, and then we will interrogate her here.
That's brutal. She's just going to die.
Yep, and our minion is learning the skills. It's a lot of it is the body language as well of the minions. They are.
Can we just listen to her in pain for a while?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course we can.
Oh, the poor lady.
I love the way they talk in Simlish as well. Well, They don't talk in Simlish. They're talking
This is
Rebellion
before
Simlish,
Sims, isn't it?
Well, this was similar.
Was it?
This was after the original Sims, but before sort of the recent iterations.
It
It
got a very Sims feel to it.
Yeah, it's got that art style. It's got that style where it's you can tell what it's going for, but it does it so neatly. There's so much panache in how this is going.
I have just noticed, which I'm very, very impressed with, because most games still today don't bother.
Yeah.
You can see that reflection perfectly in the floor.
Yes, you can.
Look at the mixer going down now. Look
Yeah.
at that. You can. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Now, particularly Bethesda games, still today will not give you a reflection in a mirror.
Yeah, I know. This is just very quickly as well. If you've listened this far as well, you have just sort of stumbled onto a feature that I want to do with you at some point very soon, Ryan. Which is what we're going to do. Is I have got a copy of Fallout 76. I have found it in a bin. Outside.
That is a big ask.
Oh, we'll just watch this transformation very quickly because we've learned all we can from this lady. We've gained the information, and we now have a valet.
Okay,
There
that
he
guy
is.
just fully evolved like a Pokemon.
Yep, and if I double click on him, if I can, he's off to work. There we are. He's looking after our minions now, and he can train others.
Excellent. So yeah, I'm a little frightened about what you just said. I haven't actually played Fallout 76. I played Fallout 4. And I absolutely adored that game.
I like 4, but it wasn't my favourite.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I had never played a Fallout game before Fallout 4 came out.
You can't see my face right now if you're listening to the podcast, but I am just like,
Very
what?
surprised.
What are these words?
I know. Considering I've already expressed how I adore games,
Yeah.
but I don't. The more I talk, the more it seems I'm not that equipped to even
I
mention
love games.
them.
How much is Pac-Man? Oh, it's my favourite.
Oh, I like that ET game from years ago.
Oh, that's great. I went into the desert. I dug all of those bad boys up. I own all of them. Yeah.
So no, I came across. I come to quite good games quite late, but I do play them and I love them, right? But yeah, Fallout 4 came out and I was like, okay, I'm definitely into this. Like, I'll definitely give that a go. Do you know what it was as well? It's like when I was young, I didn't buy my games so much. Games were bought for me. When you're a kid, games are bought for you, and they're the games you play, or like demo discs.
Yeah,
and you just play a demo disc.
I miss the days of demo discs. You can download stuff now, and I know you can download demos. But one of the things that newer generations won't get is I used to get demo discs with magazines.
Yeah,
didn't you? Like you would get like compilation discs of demos.
PC Gamer.
Oh, PC Gamer was a good one. I used to like getting them with what was that one? There used to be one that came out. It's gone out of business now, but they used to do demo discs every week as well, a bit like PC Gamer, and it was just so good. There was a demo disc for PC Gamer. I used to play Quake.
Right.
I played Quake 3, which was like the arena style one where you're running around, you're just killing each other. It's like a massive sort of frag arena.
Yeah.
And there was one demo disc that enabled you to play inside the PC Gamer offices, and you were running around a massive PC Gamer office, and it was really good. It was really fun. I used to love demo discs. They had so much good content. But
One of the videos you actually have is where you're talking about Medieval.
Oh yeah.
And with Fortescue, and you were saying how when you were a kid you played it on the demo disc.
I did.
That's where I played it from.
Yeah.
On the demo disc for PlayStation.
Yeah, it was such a good little format because the thing about demos is that you could try before you buy, and that I think that meant a lot for consumers. I feel like now it's gone the other way, and a lot of the time we're not even shown reviews and gameplay until the last minute because developers, publishers, not developers, don't want you to try because they're worried about what you're going to see.
Yeah,
we saw it with Breakpoint most recently.
I've heard a lot of negative things about
that
Breakpoint.
was not a fun time. I can tell you now, that was not a fun time. I'm not going to be playing that soon. But with that, the beta for that game was out the week before release.
Yeah,
because
ridiculous.
There's no time to fix anything, and they don't want you to play it before you've had that chance to pre-order it. And that's a shame because I know that I don't blame developers at all for this because it's not the developers. I know it's publishers pushing hard to get stuff out. But I think there was a recent decision to send Doom back a few months.
Okay.
So Doom's been put back a couple of months. Doom Eternal, the new upgrade. Here they are now, all working on our desks, doing our around the world stuff. So now when we have a look, we have a bit more information. We can kidnap this guy and get ourselves a technician. So we need to send 4 workers here.
Alright, let's do it.
We'll send 6 and then we get a better job. We get more chance. Because you do have a chance of failing as well. At the moment, our notoriety is harmless. But the higher this gets, the more heat we get. The more heat we get, the bigger agents and better agents we get coming to the island.
Right.
But they decided to send Doom back a few months to make sure that it was definitely ready.
And that's so good.
I'm totally behind the decision because I played it at QuakeCon. not too long ago, and it is fantastic. I was worried that the extra mechanics that they've added in like a flamethrower, like a shoulder-mounted flamethrower, and like this grappling thing with the shotgun, and there's a lot more grappling and jumping across things. I was worried that it would make things a bit too complicated. I like the fast-paced. I don't know if you played the remaster, not too well. The
remastered Doom, the reboot.
Yeah, the reboot.
Yeah, that's so good.
It was amazing. I love the speed of it,
Yep.
and I was worried the new mechanics would slow it down. But if anything, it's given you the ability to be tactical while still being fast.
Okay.
It's really good. But when I saw the information that they were sort of putting it back, I saw the release. I was fine with it because
and that's the thing. Like,
I'm prepared to wait for a good game.
People will wait. As long as it's a good game. It's like with CD Projekt Red and putting back Cyberpunk, and they keep putting it back.
Yeah.
And you know what? Good.
Fine with it.
Good. Keep putting it back. Put it back for as long as you need, so long as when I get it, it's going to be the best damn thing you've ever thought of.
Yeah. I think that's the
wait.
thing is, there's the other thing that I agree with that is, like, for example, with CD Projekt Red, they are really good guys in the industry.
They've earned that.
They're good guys in the industry, and there's one negative story that's come out about them, which was the whole crunch period thing.
Oh yeah.
And they've now said that they're not going to do that. You know, they're going to make sure in future, which I hope is true, they're going to make sure that that kind of thing doesn't happen with their staff. And if that means they need to take longer in order to make sure their staff have healthier living environments, I'm totally fine with that.
Absolutely.
I'm never going to think that someone's mental or emotional health is secondary to me getting an entertainment project. I'm sorry.
That's half finished.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'd rather you get me something good that works.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like about this game, is that I played this so long ago. By the way, I know exactly what you're thinking, and yes, you could interrogate people using all of the objects you can see in this room here as well.
Excellent.
That includes the laser, the toxic pits.
The toxic pits I'm interested in.
This is an testing impact stress machine.
Okay.
You can also use the bookcase, the brain washer.
Brilliant.
And you can also use these rifle ranges too, as well as some other stuff. It's really, really good. It's got some great qualities.
We have to hit back because we briefly mentioned Fallout 76.
Yes,
and then we never went on to it.
You want to know what the plan was? We are tangenting quite a lot, but that's totally fine with me because I want this to be a surprise for you when you can't get away. But no, what the plan is I have got a copy of Fallout 76 from a bin.
Right.
And I say a bin, a man threw it at me as I came past his house. It's like a curse. You know, if it touches my hands, it leaves
You're stuck
him.
with it now.
Yeah, so now I have to get rid of it somehow, so you're going to play it. But what we're going to do is, I have got a copy of 76, and I have only played it briefly at QuakeCon again.
Yeah.
And it was an experience. So what I'm going to do is, we are going to play it. Well, has it been a year yet? But we're going to play it a bit on, now that they've had a chance to develop it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to play it from the perspective of two guys that haven't played it before.
I haven't actually played it at all yet.
Yeah, and so we're going to see whether or not now they've managed to turn it into a game that we can play first, sit down and play for the first time and enjoy, or are we going to sit down and play it and still find it a buggy, broken mess? Right. So I think it'll be an interesting project for you to play, because I'm playing this at the moment, and that can be your game. You can, I'm treating you to a take it. I don't want it. No, I'm treating you to a free copy of Fallout 76.
Yeah, why not?
So what we'll do is, that is something I'm planning. We've just started our mission here. We've got 2 minutes to potentially capture this guy.
Okay.
But we could lose people doing this
He's
mission.
in Argentina, isn't he?
Yep, and this guy here, we're in North China here. Controversially. Whilst we're there, make no political statements.
No, China does not extradite.
No.
So we have to kidnap.
No political statements here. Now, whilst we're there, we don't want to rock the boat. If any of my minions say anything, I will dock them all of their pay and ban them from undergoing any missions for the next 12 months. I believe that's a firm decision. But no, it's a really good game, this. I would definitely recommend it if you haven't played it before. I'd say you can pick it up quite cheap now, and it's so worth it. You can get quite a lot out of it. You have got missions, and you would unlock this stuff fairly, but it's just more fun when we haven't got very long to talk about it today, so it's just more fun to unlock everything quite quickly and just see how everything works. It's really good though. There's a lot of research opportunities. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. You can steal things from around the world as well that give off influences, so they increase your minions' happiness and keep them working hard and things like that. It's really good. I mean, at the moment I've got our valet training other valets, so he's in here right now. He's just trained another valet. And then now at the school desk,
Transformers. You're going to transform.
They will do. So you can see now this guy's training this guy. They're reading from books and learning about the
because I saw some. Yeah, what's the arrows going down? It's like they're depressed or something.
That arrow going down right there is his sort of mental health. So I can't remember what the exact term
and they're like,
is.
I can't deal with it.
Yeah, basically it's like stress, but you've got all different things that help them. So for example, now
we've got rats in a maze.
Yep, and that cheers them up. So that helps
Does
them.
it?
Yeah, that cheers them up and gives them a little bit of sort of better health in regard to like their mental. I think it's stress they call it. But here we go. He's learned, and
brilliant.
There we go.
Clicking.
That's how I change in the mornings. What about you? Yeah.
I put my trousers on one leg at a time.
Mine just materialise like that. So yeah, so we've got all of our minion statuses here. So this is the overall of how they're doing. So that's their loyalty there. There we go. So we've succeeded in our capture.
Ah, we've got him.
An act of infamy has been successful. We've captured a guard, so they will carry him back from the heliport in a minute, or they might already have. No, not yet. But they'll carry him back from the heliport, and he will go into our base, and we can interrogate him to learn his secrets.
Sounds good.
Fun times. There's one of our little minions manning the camera desk there to let us know.
So what just happened there? All the green lights just came.
That is our camera network. So it will show us what he can see. The number means what number setup it's on. So you can have, like, for example, 1, 2, 3, and that way different parts of the. Oh, worker Wayne Patterson has deserted my network due to low loyalty. Well,
I think he needs re-education.
I'm sorry, but I do not allow that kind of behaviour from my minions.
Capture him.
Get him, minions.
Capture him.
You will not leave the island, Wayne Patterson.
Oh, I kicked him.
Oh, will he get away?
Roadhouse.
I'll make him salute. A little trick there to catch him. Thank you, Wayne Patterson.
Oh, he got absolutely flummoxed.
He's going to go into a cell and we will interrogate him.
What does he know? Oh, yes, what does he know? Why is he deserted? What is it?
It was low loyalty, but the good thing is that we can interrogate him with anything in the base. The bad thing is that we're not going to get anything out of him, except for fun, so that's okay.
Can we put him in? Can we use like the nuclear stuff?
Which one? The one over here?
Yeah.
We can't use them, but we can go to the next best thing, and I can stick him in an acid vat.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Toxic vat will do.
That'll be great. We've got to interrogate this guard here as well. So, do you have any particular preference?
What else have we got hanging around? Lasers.
Lasers?
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, we can take
Interrogation order confirmed. Put him in front of the laser.
There you go. So you're getting into this already. There you go.
Lasers.
It's one of those games where you can. It's very easy to relax with. I just think it's fun. It's a really fun title, just in general. It's got so many good points about it. There's so much stuff you can do. There's a lot of little fun tropes and jokes, and you can tell it's a labour of love. Like, there's been a lot of effort gone into this. You can tell that someone made this because they wanted to, rather than it wasn't a case of forcing something out quickly. You can tell it's something where love and effort has gone into creating something fun.
Yeah,
and
you can tell like the development team have had a lot of fun, like thinking up all the various different ways to like make this as fun as possible.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a title that you can tell. Now, do you have another suggestion for anything you'd like to?
So what's this piece
That's
here?
a supercomputer.
Is there anything we can do with that?
Yeah, we can interrogate with that.
Brilliant.
Okay, it sounds like I just had an alert. It looks like we have people inside our base. Have they just wandered in?
Cameras.
Yes, they have. Okay, people have just wandered into our base. We better. That's a thief there. We'll capture these guys. The problem is that I haven't put a lot of defences in yet, which is an issue.
Yeah, we need turrets.
So we will build some defences here. We'll build a trap. We've got quite a lot of intruders in here at the moment, but we'll capture them. That's all right.
Can we make them alert or something?
We'll capture them. I'll put it onto red alert. Which means everyone will just basically do what we want them to do. I'll put a laser trip beam here.
Preferably out the way of the staff. Will they set it off?
They can set it off if they have low sort of motivation and stuff. Yeah, but that's okay. Now, I'm thinking we could have a piranha tank.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Piranha tank. Okay. What we'll do, I'll put a piranha tank here, and I'll put a dread mill here. So a dread mill is basically a treadmill that shoots people forwards. So we can use a treadmill to shoot them into the piranha tank.
Brilliant.
Which is always good. It's got a really sweet.
Is there a way of making like a moat of piranhas?
You can make quite a long road of these, so as soon as they trip a tripwire, they just fall in. I can also have machine guns inside sandcastles, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go heavy on that. The problem with the traps in this is I always seem to catch my own minions in them, which is an issue. So the dread mill. Well, I'll tell you what we'll use actually. Rather than the dread mill, we'll use the magnets, because the magnets pull forwards. Where are our magnets? There is a magnet trap, giant magnet trap. Giant magnet. Anyone caught in the field will be drawn towards the magnet. They will hit the wall, suffer health damage, or be sucked into another trap. So we will use our magnets. I'll move this camera to over here. I've not eaten today yet.
Look at his stomach going.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I saw on there laughing gas.
There is laughing gas. You can lower everything, so you can injure them directly, or you can, for example, lower their loyalty and things like that, and they basically just give up.
Yeah.
Now what we'll do is this guy here. These are the ones we have to interrogate in order to get new jobs. So we'll interrogate this guy. There's the one in the supercomputer.
Oh, so I don't know what's happening to him.
Oh, they've just finished, so we just missed that. But that's all right. We'll put this guy on the laser. And now we have our technicians.
Brilliant.
Yep, they're quite happy now. I'll stand everyone down. As well as that, if we there's another agent. We'll capture this guy. The more they see, the agents have things they can go back home with, and then basically tattle on you, and your infamy will go up. So what you want to do is make sure they don't really see anything. I really should have built better defences here, but we're working on it. We're working on it. So now these two will activate each other. If I do this and I do this, then when this activates, this will activate this. There we go. Now that should,
it's quite a clever little system.
built. Yeah, you can build like whole trap systems, so people go through multiple traps before things happen to them. It's really, really fun. I can build a heavy-duty door here as well, because then that way they definitely can't break through it, and they'll be forced to go forwards into our traps. So here we go. And what we'll do is, have we got any agents coming nearby? Right, there's an agent, couple of agents there. They're the Patriot agents there.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, they all dress differently. But it's a really fun little game. But yeah, I'd quite like to see what you think of Fallout 76, because you haven't played it at all.
No, no matter where it's online, isn't it? Almost.
It is always online, it's an interesting title, let's put it that way. Personally speaking, I'd just much rather like a new Fallout game that was more around the Obsidian style of gameplay. I don't know if you played Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed New Vegas. It's one of my favourite games. Now here we go. Here goes our trap. They step through. The magnets start. One hits the wall. The other one went straight into the piranha pit there.
Brilliant.
Yeah. The other guy hit the wall with quite a lot of force. We can now capture him.
That's a great little animation.
They've put a lot of effort into
that one got out though.
Yeah, they survive, but they lose a lot of health. What we'll do as well.
Oh, we are losing minions.
That's alright, they're easily replaceable. Much like real life. What we'll do is, I noticed that one person got past the trap there. So what we'll do...
Put 2 piranha traps.
Well, I was thinking about a saw blade trap on the other side.
That would be really
just
cool.
in case. Or we could go with a pit punisher, or a Satan's chimney, or an electroshock cannon.
What's a pit punisher? A
pit punisher, it sucks them into a hole in the ground.
And no one knows where it goes?
They kind of get thrown around a little bit, and then they appear.
Ah.
We can activate them as well, I think.
Punishment.
You can have whole sort of massive trap systems, which are really fun. It's got some great little features in. We'll add a few more minions here. You can only have so many. You can go to about 99, or a few more, I think. But you can't always get a. We'll just kill a couple of these guys. I mean, we'll just retire a couple of these guys. There's our traitor there. But it's a really good game. It's got a lot of good features about it. I really enjoy it. It's very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very indulgent.
Some people play The Sims, whereas I just cackle to myself alone, which is a good emphasis on my life so far. Okay. There we go. We'll interrogate our traitor. Oh, something's been stolen by an intruder. Oh, okay. We got 2 guys that managed to get through because they're working on the traps. We'll get them. We'll get them. Don't worry. Once these traps are completed, we'll never have to worry again. I'll make a couple of sensors here, just in case they see one, but the others don't. There we go. I'll add these in as well, just in case they miss anything else.
I've got this image of like the Resident Evil lasers.
Yeah. the umbrella style stuff.
Umbrella style lasers.
It's such a good game. It's got so much. It's got so much potential in regard to what you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant. Such a good game. There we go. We've got our intricate sort of laboratory load of stuff now. But no, it's a really good game. I mean, what we'll do is we'll probably finish this up around about now because we have been playing for a little while. But are you looking forward to playing Fallout 76 next time?
Yes. Yeah.
You're a good liar, huh?
No, why not? Yeah. We'll see how we get on.
That's slang for we're not going to do this, are we? You're hoping I don't hold you to this. You never know. You might enjoy it. It might be one of your favourite games.
I love playing games, even if they're bad. There's always some fun in them.
There must be
some good stuff in Fallout 76.
I'm glad you said that because I can hold you to that now. if when it gets to the stage where you have to play it, I'll be like, no, you did say that every game has every cloud has a silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining. Every game has a good element to
every microtransaction has got a purple item somewhere in there under a 0.01% chance to drop.
Are there microtransactions in Fallout 76?
Oh god, of course there are.
There are, aren't there?
It was originally going to be just cosmetic, and they promised that there would be no
That's right,
boosts.
I remember. Is it Todd?
Todd Howard.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did he say cosmetics only? There was like a phrase he said that gets quoted quite a bit.
It wasn't Todd Howard. I forget who it was, but they basically said that there was going to be nothing except for cosmetics. There wouldn't be anything that would actually give any kind of advantages, in-game advantages.
Right.
And then they did anyway, because of course they did. Yep. A lot of people forget what they promised. I think that's what it is. It's not nefarious or money grabbing. It's just forgetfulness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I say when I walk out of Tesco's with my bags stuffed with turkey and ham.
Brilliant.
Yep.
I just forgot.
Yeah, I forgot I had it. Yeah. I promised I wouldn't steal from the store.
I think that's the Anthony Warren Thompson defence as well.
Yeah, well, if you do want some bloody good cheese. Yeah, I do remember that, actually.
That's a throwback.
Do you want to tell everyone what that was?
Oh, yeah. It's Anthony Warren Thompson, particularly for like any listeners and viewers who are not from the UK, is a quite famous chef.
I was going to stop you there. Yeah, I was going to say.
He's quite a famous, very well liked at the time as well, chef on the TV. And he got caught in Tesco's, I believe, stealing cheese.
He was stealing cheese. He was stealing. I think he was stealing blocks of cheddar or something.
It's important to note as well. Like this, he was a very famous chef at the time.
Yeah.
Who was earning quite a lot of money. And that's what confused everyone. It was like, why is Anthony Warren Thompson stealing cheese from Tesco's?
Well, that's the thing is you've got to keep your bottom line low.
Yeah.
If you're running a restaurant, you've got to keep your bottom line low. That's the rule number one. I mean, when I've watched a lot of Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's my guilty pleasure. I love it because it's so ridiculous. And I watch a lot of that. And the amount of people that are in denial.
Yeah.
The amount of people that are screamed at that they're in denial. And the simple solution to all of their money problems is just steal your products. Steal all of them.
Gordon Ramsay's just one of the funniest things in the world.
I think you should do a podcast on Gordon Ramsay.
I might do.
There's a lot you could talk about.
I don't know whether he'd be classed as a good person or a bad person though.
I think the jury's out on that. Yeah.
He's just he's almost like a meme king now. He's like the king of memes.
Yeah.
He's one of those people know more about
the memes than the person.
Gordon Ramsay through memes.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a one where he's got two
the
slices
idiot sandwich.
He's got 2 slices of bread and he's put it on either side of this person's head. And
what are you? I'm an idiot sandwich. It's such a ridiculous. The thing I like about Kitchen Nightmares, American viewers, you'll probably already know this, but a lot of American TV is far more theatrical than British TV because we tend to have a rule on our reality shows where you can't show something depict something as real when it's not most of the time. Or there's a disclaimer or something like that. There's a reason why we don't have television like that. It's just not as widely accepted in the UK. Whereas in America, there's a lot of shows that they sort of admit, oh yeah, this was set up for the TV show.
Although we do have Naked Attraction.
We do have that, and the only way is Essex and things like that.
Yeah.
Which generally make me quite sad.
Weirdly though, I tell you what, before we finish up, my first impressions of The Only Way is Essex. So I'm from Essex, and when I saw they were making a TV show about Essex people, I was like, wow, I'm all for this. I'm kind of interested. And then I watched it.
How do you feel now?
Oh my God, what is this? And it took me so long to figure out whether it was real or not. And it was, I suppose, how I felt while watching that was how people first felt watching the original Office.
Yeah.
Where they couldn't tell if it was real or not. And then I started to realise, oh, actually, they are real people. They're just put in very unusual circumstances and made to chat. What is happening?
I've stuck one of these guys on a centrifuge.
Oh, I love a centrifuge.
This is what you do with them, I assume. I'm not a scientist, but I assume this is what you do with a centrifuge.
I believe a centrifuge is there to, isn't it? It's to create artificial gravity.
Yeah, it's like G-force, isn't it? I think?
Yeah, so astronauts go on them to sort of experience the types of gravity that they will experience in the rocket going up into space.
Yeah, so if anything, I'm helping that guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you're going to send it to space.
There's our trap set. Did that?
Someone just activate a trap, but they haven't died.
She's okay. She's okay for the most part.
Hey,
oh, there's the pit trap.
There's the pit.
There we go.
I forgot we had the pit.
There she is.
Wow, what is going on in there?
It will basically spit her out in a random direction.
Brilliant.
There we go.
Get her.
Her health is quite low, but she's not down for the count yet. But she will be now. There we go.
Kill her.
We can get her. We've got
Kill her
soldiers
now.
running around now as well. There they are, cheering each other on during a fight. And they all get cheered up when they kill someone, but they get saddened by body bags.
Really?
They're not geniuses themselves.
It's like a hitman that's afraid of blood.
Yeah. Well, that's why I've never got into the profession, to be honest.
Brilliant.
That, plus I've got all this bloody cheese weighing me down. I can't get out of the store. Can't get rid of it.
How have you seen? There's this fantastic video, security footage of a man, what I believe to be in a Dixon's, right? Which again, doesn't
that's
exist
a blast
anymore.
from the past.
Doesn't exist anymore, but it was not a hardware.
Think
it's
Best Buy, PC World.
Yeah, Best Buy, PC World, Currys, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this man he's walking backwards out of a Dixon's.
Right.
On this security camera, and it just looks really dodgy. This bloke's just walking backwards.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough.
And he's wearing a big coat. He just this man, just almost like from the CCTV, looks silhouetted almost.
Yeah.
He's just walking backwards, and then he walks out the door, and then he turns around, and he's got like a 30-inch telly by him.
Of course he does. Of course he does. One of my favourite things was if anyone hasn't seen it, it's like a video of a guy who broke into a store and then fell through the roof and couldn't get out.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I think that's the thing, is that those kind of videos, like meme videos and viral videos, you remember them for ages, and that's like what you said about Gordon Ramsay. Like nobody really. I remember I really liked. I don't know who died in my power plant. I never really followed stuff like Hell's Kitchen because it wasn't as much fun for me. But I really love stuff like Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares because there's so many memeable moments.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is the way to use the word meme. I don't know if you can say memeable.
I think memeable.
I think it's quite a good word. So.
Yeah,
but there's so many moments where you think this is just I can't forget this. The idiot sandwich thing from Hell's Kitchen in America is good, but the dramatization that you see on US TV versions of Hell's Kitchen, it's literally like you watch the English variation of Kitchen Nightmares. Yeah, and they're like, oh, the problem is that someone's not eaten scallops before. And that's the most exciting thing that's happened. You watch the American one, and the introduction is like relationships, team building, and he's like got a man, a slightly overweight man, onto a hill, and he's screaming into the city below about like his insecurities, and you're like, what is this? It's like watching like a Rocky montage. I don't understand. It's great television though, because it's so ridiculous. I think if you took it seriously, it's not good. But if you take it for what it is, which is a little bit ridiculous, it's good. It's really good viewing. But anyway, I think we should probably call it a day there.
Yeah. Should we leave the last word to Maximilian?
Well, much like Adrian Bolton, we're about to desert our evil organisation due to low loyalty. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com. I've been joined today by Ryan.
Thanks for having me. It's been
a
pleasure. I look forward to doing some more videos.
He says that now, but he's forgotten it's Fallout 76.
Yeah, I forgot I'm doing Fallout.
Yeah, you are doing that. So
I'll see you lot on Fallout.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be really good. And for the last words, we'll go to Maximilian, who will say something. Won't say anything. That's not good enough. We're going to go with a proper... Nope, not good enough. He says you have failed me for the last time sometimes. That'll do. Anyway, thank you for tuning in everyone, and hopefully we'll catch you again real soon. Thank you and goodbye.